Hello guys, this is my first video. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I had this idea for a while and I thought why not, and I felt that was the perfect moment now because we kind of have extra time because of quarantine. So I thought, well, why not? Wait a second, there's a noise here. I guess it's better now. There's some construction workers doing something near my house here. So, my name is Ailina Creuri. I am a Wiccan priestess in Brazil. And yes, I speak English because who doesn't? I mean, a lot of people doesn't. But nowadays, we really need to speak English. And I also speak English because I am an English teacher. I study languages and yeah. Now I'm not teaching anymore. I am more as a coordinator level, but I miss teaching. And I mean, I wanted to do this channel because it was the perfect moment, as I said, because as I said again, I'm Brazilian, I'm Wiccan, and I'm self-initiated. And I decided to be a priestess because I wanted to after 10 years. And I'm going to explain what do I mean by I decided to be a priestess. But I mean, today I would like to talk a little bit about my path as a self-initiate and talk a little bit about how is it. Of course, I'm going to make more videos about it, and I intend to make this channel about Wiccan stuff, and that's why I put in the title like witchy talks, because that is basically what we're going to be doing here, and especially talking about Wicca. So it all started in 2008 when I was reading, I'm gonna get the book, when I was reading these bad boys here. So when I started reading, here in Brazil we call Brumas de Avalon. I don't know how we call it in the United States. I have no idea how to say brumas in English. So this book by Marian Zimmer Bradley, right? Here in Brazil, the publisher has 4 volumes of this. You can see that they are a little old, a little dusty. Anyways, I started reading those and I noticed that the book talks about witchcraft and goddesses and stuff like that, and I was like, is this real? I mean, is it really, is this a thing? And apparently it was a thing, and it's called Wicca nowadays. And I was like, and in this book, a goddess in particular got my attention, which is Kerridwen, which is a Gaulish goddess. And she caught my attention, specifically her and Cernunnos. And then I started researching, I started looking for answers, like, is this real? And I wanted to know, what was it about? And I discovered it was real enough to be a religion, and it was actually a religion. And I was like, my gosh, I discovered what I wanted to discover for a long time, and I didn't even know I wanted. And I felt like going back home. And I'm pretty sure that's how you feel when you find Wicca and you feel that is your path. So I started studying, and then it was 2009. I'm not so sure of the dates of the years because I was never good at keeping a diary. I was never good at keeping record of the stuff. I always tried to do it, but I was never keen on it. I was never good on it. So I'm not sure of the years, but yeah, it was around 2009. Then 2009 I started studying Wicca, and I started my dedication process alone. So I was going to self-dedicate myself because I didn't find a coven conveniently enough for me to attend, and that also that was wanting to do things seriously. I didn't find it in Brazil. And then at that time I was working a lot, I was studying a lot, I was in college, and I didn't have time to attend something presential. And then there is the issue with my family that I'm going to address in another video, because there's a lot of things about my family that kept me from studying witchcraft at a more openly way. Anyways, and then I started studying alone. I decided to self-dedicate myself. I started a wheel of the year, and I did it 1 year, and then I didn't initiate myself right there, but I did afterwards. And I guess it was like 2 years after the first wheel. And then I found Stregheria. Stregheria is an Italian tradition of witchcraft. It's very traditional. It's very similar to what Gerald Gardner used to do at the time, but not similar at all. But I'm a little similar with traditional Wicca. And a coven found me, which is a thing in Stregheria, because in Wicca we don't have proselytism. We don't have people actually wanting people in your coven. But in Stregheria you have a person in the coven who is responsible to find new adepts, find Diana's daughters and sons. And she said, well, actually she said to him, and then he said to me, the priestess didn't know me at the time, but I knew her son in the coven, and he said, well, you're Wiccan, right? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, well, you are Diana's daughter. And I was like, okay, that's a nice goddess. No, you're not understanding it. You are Diana's daughter. Like, you are Strega. And I was like, okay, but I'm Wiccan. How can I be a Stregan? And then he said, no, you are. And then, would you like to join our coven? And I was like, really? And I was like, but I just got into Wicca and I'm really loving it. And then one thing led to another, and I started in the Strega coven. And I got initiated because he was opening my mind and talking about many stuff that we don't talk at Wicca, like is the law, the third fall law, really all that it is, about all of the dogmatism that is in Wicca that we don't have at Stregerism, Stregoneria if you want. We don't have it at Stregeria, we don't have it. And I cannot speak much about it actually, because I got initiated there, and okay, I'm first degree, I'm not like a high priest, Strega high priest, but we cannot talk about the mysteries, the secrets of Stregeria or Stregoneria. Like, we cannot talk about it openly because there is like an oath that you take. And I wish I could, because it's a lovely path, but since I'm not a first degree I'm not a high priestess, I cannot initiate other people in the path. I'm just like a third degree Strega, you know? So I cannot initiate people, I cannot talk about it. And what happened? Why didn't I get the first degree? Why didn't I get the second degree? Because after I got my third degree, after I got initiated on Stregeria, the coven separated itself and dissipated itself, because the high priestess decided not to do it anymore, and we didn't have a person that could take her place. So the coven split, and since there is not solitary stregeria. There's not solitary stregas because stregeria only works in a coven. So the coven was gone, and with that, my opportunity to become a first degree priestess. But I wasn't aiming for that. I was happy where I was. And then, since the coven was gone, I decided to go back to Wicca. And then, like, why not? And then I started trying another tradition. There is a tradition here in Brazil. It's kind of famous, called, in Portuguese, is Tradição Caminhos das Sombras, but in English would be something like Shadow Path tradition. The tradition of the Shadow Path. It's kind of nice. And I started taking their online, not initiatory, not we don't want to get attached to people that we don't know course, you know, online. I started because I was okay, let's get to know this new tradition. And turns out I didn't like the idea of not having links with people, like not having magical links with other people, and this got me out of it. And then I decided that I was going to be by myself in this path. It's not something that I decided because I wanted to, because I always wanted to be on covens. I have always wanted it, but it's something that happened to me. And like 10 years later, I mean, I had some people now and then asking me, oh, can you help me study? Can you help? Oh, you're on Wicca for like, you're self-initiated. And at the time, people didn't care so much about self-initiated. So I was going to say that I usually say, I used to say it at the time that I was initiated, that I was educated, that I was initiated. And then people like, oh my God, you know about Wicca, can you help me? Can you teach me? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna teach, but I can help you. Read this and that. Read that book, that author, nah. And then some people came into my way, and we sometimes did some group studies. I tried once, I tried twice, and it didn't work because people were not taking the things seriously, and I always take things seriously, especially on Wicca, and it didn't work. The group studies that I was in. And then I decided to, I'm looking at my Book of Shadows. I have lots of Book of Shadows. This one is actually kind of a diary. It's a planner, okay? It's a planner. But the cover, you know, I don't know if you can see it. Magic is all around. The cover is, for me, so pagan, so I decided to keep it as a diary. Anyways, the people started asking me. The group studies didn't work, and some people online started asking me, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a channel. I'm going to do a channel because a lot of people are asking me stuff that you can find online in books, and the same information on books, but apparently people are not understanding where to find those things. And I started a channel which now has almost 5 years on the Brazil YouTube in Portuguese. So I have a channel in Portuguese to talk about Wicca, but in a more informative manner. And then some people look for me like to have a tutor. And last year, 2019, I decided to take a student. Okay, you want to learn? Okay, come, be my guest. And I took a student, and then another one, and then another one, and now I have three people that are dedicating with my help, with my magical link, like I am their priestess, and they're going to get initiated by me in bulk next year, 2021, if they decide to get initiated, and if they decide they want to get initiated with me. Why am I telling you this? Because that is part of my path as a priestess. I now consider myself a priestess. I took a long time to consider myself a priestess. Like, I was 5 years a priestess and I didn't tell people I was a priestess, you know? Like, and some people in Brazil, they don't consider me a priestess. And it's okay, you know, because there are many opinions. I'm not a traditional Wiccan. I am an eclectic Wiccan. And here in Brazil, we have fights about it. I'm sure you have fights about it in countries, in native English speaker countries as well. I mean, it's not fight, there are arguments about it. For example, oh, if you didn't get your initiation from someone, if you didn't get initiated, sorry, if you didn't get initiated, you're not a priestess, your initiation is not valid. And some people in Brazil, they talk about it. They say that the initiation is only valid if you get initiated by someone. And it's okay, people are allowed to have their opinions. And some people are going to say that this is not an opinion, that this is a fact. And I understand it. But I didn't have it. I didn't have a person, you know? I didn't have a person I trusted enough, and I really believe that the person who, the entity that initiates us are not the people, I believe that the gods initiate us. I am a Scott Cunningham fan. You know, I really like his ideas, and I really believe in self-initiation. If the person is really into it, why not? I don't need a person to intermediate this process. There is a difference, of course there is a difference. The person who is initiated by someone, there's some amazing qualities, amazing things, amazing links, and things that this person gets. There is a heritage, you know. There's a lot to benefit when you are initiated by someone. But I didn't have this, and I wanted it. And one thing led to another. I wasn't initiated at first to teach other people, you see. That wasn't my main goal. But it came to be. It happened. And some people think this is not valid here in Brazil. I personally don't care, because I am more of a line of Scott Cunningham stuff, and I believe in self-initiation, and I believe that a self-initiate could initiate other people. I was not going to talk about it, but since it came up, that's it, you know. And I started this channel because I wanted to talk to people from all over the world and listen to your thoughts on that topic and others that I'm going to post here, because here in Brazil, that's pretty much what it is. Like, if you're not initiated by someone, you are just an apprentice forever. And I am going to be an apprentice forever, I'm sure of it, even initiated. But you know what I mean, right? I can help people get there. I can help people read the books that I read, because I mean, the books were my masters, you know. And some people, they need someone to hold their hand and say, come on, let's go together. And I want to be that person, you know. And I'm a teacher, as I said in the beginning of the video, so it's in my blood to help people, and I don't charge for that, you know. Some people in Brazil, they charge to have a priestess or a self-initiated priestess teaching them Wicca. There are many mistakes here, because Wicca was not supposed to be involved with money. A priestess or a priest would never ask for money to teach their students, their neophytes. So this doesn't happen. But here in Brazil it does. Priestesses are asking for money to help other people learn Wicca, and the same Wicca that you can learn with the books. So you see, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be a person that would say, well, my training course, my content is this, and this book, you know. And after you read this book, we're going to practice magic together, and we're going to get you there. You know. And some people invalidate it, but it's okay, it's fine. I know that I'm happy. I know that my brothers are happy, which I believe that they are my brothers, the people that want me to initiate them, and we are a family, you know. And Well, I'm blabbering for 20 minutes. I don't know how to do this because in my other channel, the videos that I post an audio. It's not a video, you know? So this is my first video. I don't know how to do it, but I like to talk. So thank you for listening to 20 minutes of someone you don't know. And I hope I see you around for the next videos. And let's get to know each other. All right? So blessed be. Bye.